Welcome to Cooking with Miss O. Let's join Mary Beth Oxendine in the kitchen as she teaches you how to cook Southern style healthy.
Welcome to Cooking with Miss O again, and I have a guest with me today. It's Abby J. Abby J is here because Marie and I have met her when we've been down to Springer Mountain, and she was wonderful. We had lunch together, didn't we, Abby? And we were just talking.
Yeah.
And she's tried my food, and now I've been to her house. Marie and I have, Marie Pritchard and I, and we've tried her salsa, and it's excellent, y'all. I'm not a real big salsa person. She has some for those of you that like it hot. And then she has one for me that's milder, and it's the black bean and herb. And so this recipe that we're doing today is one that I did for Tom when he couldn't eat corn tortillas or anything. And we used to have a taco night at our family table, and we're going to talk about that because Abby is into this, and I didn't even know that this was a thing because y'all know from last year that I went to farms, got food, and cooked with it, and then I put stuff up in the freezer, and that's what I've been teaching you because it's the most economical and healthiest way to eat, isn't it, Abby?
Absolutely. Everything you put inside yourself is very important. The farm to table trend is how I got started eating healthy, non-gluten, low sodium, so important.
No sugar.
And thank you for having me here.
Oh, I'm so glad to have you, Abby. Listen, because I get a free jar of salsa, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. But let me tell y'all, you can buy it in Ingles. If you go to Ingles and you cannot find Abby J's salsa, you be sure and tell your manager, and then you call the Ingles company and tell them you want it in your store because it is the best salsa I've ever eaten. Marie Pritchard says that too. Let's go ahead and start. And while we start, I want you to tell them about your stuff. And I'll just interrupt a little bit at a time when I'm doing something. We're going to first put pinto beans. I get these at Ingles, and it's the Harvest ones. I also, while I'm opening this is my Pampered Chef. Some of y'all have already seen it, my can opener, because my daughter gave it to me for Christmas. It took me 6 months to figure out how to use it, and I didn't know what to do, and I finally asked her because I didn't want to hurt her feelings because I thought it was broke. But this is how you do it. It hooks on, but it makes it so no kids can hurt themselves, and they could do this. But if it doesn't, the lid come off the first time, you need to do it about 2 times around because it cuts all the glue. So you'll hear some popping, and when the popping's through, then you'll know that the lid is loose and you can do that. Abby, tell them about it. And I'm doing black bean while she's talking.
We have, my husband and I own Blackhawk fly fishing, and that's how the salsa started. Back in the early 90s, we renovated a farmhouse up in North Georgia. We've been in business since '95, and I was in corporate sales for over 20 years, and I guess I wore my stress so much that I was probably 30 or 40 pounds heavier. I wasn't eating the right things, and when I did get off the road, Mary Beth, I started doing cooking events. My passion was food. I had more time to be in the kitchen, invite friends over. It was a great thing for me to do, and I really got involved with it. And one day, David Zelski with Georgia Traveler came to my house, and he caught the biggest fish of his life. And after he caught that fish, he came over to my house and had 5 bowls of chili. And he says, Abby, you need to jar this.
Oh, wow, really?
So I decided I had been working on a different product line altogether, but after that compliment and that, he just inspired me to do it wasn't chili. I couldn't really, I didn't want to put any meat or anything in something, but I thought, you know, what does fishermen like? Salsa. So the salsa was what I created. I did a trial test with 25 fishermen. I had 23 out of the 25 like the bean and jalapeno. So a lot of folks like it spicy and hot. I'm one of those. So today we're using the black bean and herb, which is milder, but I have 4 different flavors. But the bean and jalapeno did win the finalist in the flavor of Georgia. I did do the right thing by choosing the hotter one, and it's been a great journey so far.
Well, you know, after I've been thinking about this, Abby, but first let me ask you this. Could you tear open that taco packet? Hold it up and let's talk about it in a minute. Y'all, this has no, this all natural. It's hard to find one. It's McCormick. Look for their all natural one because it has no no MSG or anything like that in it. I still want an organic one, and I get one, but I have to order it from Colorado. But still, I don't have a store that has it out yet. So, but I get this at Ingles. This is the only place I've been able to find this one, and it's at Ingles, and it's really good. And we're going to stick this in here. Abby, would you put that water in? It's 3/4 cup water with this mild, and I do the mild because I don't want this to outshine the salsa. So I would get the mild and not the original, so it won't outshine your salsa.
Well, I'm growing my own peppers, which
Yes.
I'm on the Georgia Grown program. And with that being said, having your own fresh vegetables and fruits to go in your salsa, it makes it better. You don't have all those preservatives. We could probably make some chili powder with those peppers I'm growing.
True.
Yeah.
Let's do that. So we could do that. And because it's hard to find taco seasoning that's, you know,
you just have to dry the peppers out, and they have to be really dried to where you can grind them, and then you can add, it's a blend of peppers to get the right flavoring.
Oh, that'd be great. So you could make a taco seasoning with peppers?
Absolutely.
Oh, why don't you make us one then, okay? Yeah. We'll have Abby J's taco seasoning, and then I don't have to worry anymore, okay? And I don't have to buy it from Colorado anymore then, right? I can have it in the store, right? Okay, y'all, we're going to let this simmer a little bit, and Abby, I think these are getting ready to boil. I did black beans and pinto beans. You can do pinto and kidney. If you just like one of the beans, you could do kidney or just pinto beans or just black beans. I mean, any of it would be good. And I've heard of somebody even doing this recipe. This is my original recipe, Abby, but I've heard somebody doing garbanzo beans in it too and mixing it.
That's probably a little bit less salt.
Probably true. That's a good point. So whatever your family likes, I have, we also do the cheddar cheese. I do the Cracker Barrel. I get that at Ingles. And I do the light daisy. And sometimes I don't do the light daisy, but today I did. This sour cream, I usually do the whole sour cream, but a lot of people like the light. And with daisy, I don't mind doing that, Abby. Some of them I don't because it's not as natural. Daisy is a co-op out in Texas, and it's a bunch of farmers, and they have the best sour cream on the market, I think, and the healthiest one. So,
well, that's what you want.
Yes, and I get it from Ingles. And
speaking of Ingles, Ingles has been a great supporter of my salsa. They are one of the best supporters. That they are all up and down the Carolinas. I love Ingles, and I think everybody should shop at Ingles.
I feel the same way, don't you?
Yeah.
Because I've been shopping there for so long. The lady, I'm going to be doing a show with the lady that taught me how to grind my grains, and she came in. Her name is Virginia Caswell, and she came in and taught me how to cook for Marie. And Ingles was the first grocery store in the whole state that carried the stuff I needed. I didn't have to buy any more, because for a long time I had to order everything for the winter, keep it in our storage room, from California, Colorado, Alaska.
They've expanded so much. I mean, I was doing a tasting up at the Mills River location, and they now have a live chef in that store, and it was just great. So they're really making some great improvements in a lot of the bigger stores. So
yeah, they really are.
Stay tuned.
I know. And you know, I know a lot of stores have it now and all, but I have to tell you one thing about Ingles that I really love, Abby. When there is something goes wrong in the fresh fruits or vegetable department, like the spinach incident, you know, they cleared the shelves before anybody else did in my town. Wow. I was so impressed with that. Even the spinach that hadn't been said, they took all of it off until they had an okay that all the spinach was okay. And there were some stores that it was 2 and 3 days after that whole scare before they even took their spinach off.
Wow.
So I'm impressed with them. They seem to be right on top of keeping us safe, you know.
Right.
And I like that. Now you have to wear gloves.
I wear gloves because I'm cooking every day. For fishermen, my fly fishermen, I do all farm-to-table meals. I get my beef from a farm out in Kansas. I do not buy any meat at the grocery store because I just feel like I have a better source, and it is farm to table. I'm a farm to table girl. So
I know you are,
yeah.
but you were raised on a farm.
I was. I had 5
Yes.
brothers. My grandmother raised us. She taught me how to churn butter and do bake cookies. She almost burnt the house down a couple of times baking cookies. So, you know, there's so many memories of my childhood just being with my grandmother. I think she would be proud and looking down from heaven of me right now.
Yes, I'm sure
and
she
I miss
would.
her so much.
And the thing about both of us is we both learned this at family tables. And I want to talk to you about that after we get back from our commercial break. Thank you. Okay. Now. Welcome back, y'all. We're getting ready to put everything together now. First of all, Abby, I'm going to do a layer. This is enough, what you do with what I have here, to do 2 of these bowls. This is a Southern Living ruffled bowl. If you ever see one out somewhere, they're not selling them anymore, but it has been my favorite thing. I usually do 2 of these and put one in the refrigerator. And when I do Bible studies, Abby, with women, young women at my home, because of my daughter and her friends and all, I feed them. And this is one of their favorite things.
I bet they love this.
This they love. They really do. But they eat anything, y'all. When they're hungry and they're young, you can feed them anything. It's wonderful. They're so appreciative. Then I've already drained these beans. This is a darling little colander. I love it. I got it from Ingles. I like these little ones because I can put my fresh fruit in it and all like that. Now we do a layer of the beans. Do we have enough in there? Yeah, I believe we do. And then, Abby, we do your salsa.
Okay.
Okay.
You always want to stir this up because a lot of the good stuff ends up in the bottom.
Okay.
So.
Thanks for telling me that. I don't think I did that.
Well, I particularly know this because of the bean and jalapeno. I love the peppers, and
put a thick layer.
They end up in the bottom, and I'm like, where's the peppers?
Ooh, it smells great.
Yeah.
That's why you want to keep the taco seasoning down a little bit so that you smell this. Y'all, I wish y'all could all smell this. This is wonderful.
And if you ever want to flavor up any eggs or anything, if you're really watching your weight, you can put this on like 2 tablespoons on an egg, 2 eggs every morning. A lot of protein, low sodium, so it's really good if you're trying to count calories. And you've got all the flavor too. It's a lot of flavor in a little jar.
Let me tell you too, what I do sometimes with this recipe, I do a 9x13, so I put it all in there. Then I can take it as a dip somewhere or use it as a dip, and then I do the chips.
That's great.
And Abby, this is kind of hard, so I'm gonna let you do this since you're a professional. I want you to kind of spread that around for me. And so then we're going to do something else. I want to talk to you about the chips, y'all. These chips are, you can get those at any of the grocery stores, but the place in my town that has it, actually I say that, but everybody in my town doesn't have it. Ingles always has it. And it's called Simply Natural. It's yellow corn tortilla chips. You say, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is these have not been genetically altered. I'm going to read to you the ingredient level. You need to look at the ingredient levels because corn is one of the worst that has been genetically altered. It has organic yellow corn. You do not want to have any corn products that are not organic now. Expeller pressed sunflower oil and sea salt, and it's great. So if you're going to do this, what I do a lot of times with my family is, you know, I grind all my stuff. I grind my corn too, because I get corn that has no GMOs in it.
Right.
And then I grind that and I make cornbread with it. Now what we're going to do, Abby, we're going to stick. These are from, I love this, Raw's Food. If you don't want to chop all this, and I usually chop it in the summer off the stuff in the garden and stuff, but if you don't have time, you've got something quick you got to make or take somewhere, Raw's Food has it already chopped. It doesn't have any bad chemicals in it. It says right on it, USA, and they're down in Lexington, South Carolina, so you're supporting a company in South Carolina.
Local.
Yes, and the wonderful thing is, Ingles carries, in my town, Ingles carries more of this than anybody, and I love this. So I have they do lots. If you're buying collards, it's probably them and all this. So now what we do is, can I borrow that spoon, please, Abby?
Sure.
Your spoon? Yeah, thanks. We're just going to put a little bit of this here on it, all around, and Abby will do some. And this has the yellow onion in it. It's great. And this stuff is grown in Lexington, too. I want y'all to know that this was a farm. It's the most wonderful story. I forget, Abby, there's, like your family, a bunch of brothers and sisters, except they're older than y'all. They're now grandparents, and they have started this, these brothers and sisters. Y'all, this is what we want to talk to you about. Farm to Table is getting families back, and I've been saying that all along. When Tom died, Abby, everybody just sat around my table for weeks, and we just reminisced and talked about Tom, and that's what we remember. He was an economics teacher, so all of our holidays, I cooked, and we stayed at home. I've never been out to eat on Mother's Day. I've never been out to eat on Valentine's Day.
Growing up, you know,
Yeah.
we always had Sunday dinners.
We too.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
And it's fun because that's how you catch up. And we'd sit around the table the other night. Everybody was home for a birthday, and we sat around the table and just like old times. And then I do Sunday dinners now that there are other people in my children's lives, because one's getting married, one's already married. Then I have to give up some of my Sundays.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to start doing now, I've realized I can do, is now I can start inviting. We live in the Clemson Central area, and we have 2 universities there, and so I'm going to start inviting students over and feeding them.
That'd be great. I know they'll love it because I hosted an upper day school.
Did you?
I teach. I have them over at Blackhawk for a whole week to
Really?
teach them fly fishing.
Oh,
and
wow.
one of the kids, his name was Alex. He had never been really on a farm.
Oh, wow.
And when he left, he says, "Miss Abby, will you let me come work on your farm?" And I
How
said, "Oh
wonderful.
my goodness, you know, I can use all the help I can get because we are growing almost 2 acres of peppers, tomatoes.
Yeah, I saw where your garden was
and
when we were down there.
The
It was
herbs, the
beautiful.
basil. I'm working
You gonna let
on.
me come pick?
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we put in the blueberry farm, and
Oh, did
we've
you?
got blueberries. We
Oh,
just
great.
planted those, and you're really not supposed to have any blueberries till the 2nd or 3rd year, but
I know.
I noticed blueberries on there, so
And Tom got me a blueberry farm was kind of tearing down in the central area. They were retiring, so they were selling their bushes. And Tom went in this pickup truck, got me 2 fabulous blueberry bushes, so we can go out and pick. I love that.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead, Abby. Why don't you put the cheese on there? We just sprinkle the cheese on. See how easy this is? You can have. That's good the way you did that. Remember, that's my Tupperware thing, and let's show that, Abby. This is wonderful, y'all, because this comes off and has the 2 holes there. You don't scrub your knuckles. Do you remember those old ones where you try to clean them and scrub your knuckles? I hated it. I didn't want to grate you. I said, tell somebody else to grate it, because I didn't want to stick my hand down in there to get it.
it's really light.
So, it's wonderful, yeah, and it's got the measurements on the side. Look, Abby, is this not wonderful?
Great. Very,
Yes.
very easy to clean.
Now remember, my husband was an economics teacher, so I'm economical, and I don't want you buying a lot of stuff. I'm trying to show you need very few tools in the kitchen. You don't have to have this fabulous big kitchen. You don't have to have fabulous tools. You just need a few really good tools and a few things that look pretty when you serve, so that you're doing something
Presentation's
special.
always important.
Especially for family dinners. I want to tell you, Abby, there's this thing called the Family Table. It's a CD. I got it wet here. And it's from Vision Forum. It's a ministry, and it's telling you why biblically the family table is so important. And it goes all the way through biblical history telling you the importance of the family table. So if we can do anything here, is getting you to eat fresh things that are grown at farms, because a lot of the farmers are very careful now. They're really watching what sprays they do and everything. And Ingalls is wonderful about bringing in local farmer stuff. So
I think it's one of the, like I said, one of the movements, one of the biggest movements
Yeah.
when I was creating my product, because I was following the trend for almost 3 years, and you know, it's just
See,
become bigger and bigger. And then the smaller hometowns now, where I live, like Clarksville, they have a farmers market that opens every Saturday, and I could even go take my vegetables
Yes.
and sell there, which I think is
You can
great
take your
that they're
salsa.
offering this type of
Clemson,
market.
Just last year, and I think this is the 2nd year, Clemson now has their own farmers market. There's one in Pendleton and in Clemson, which is wonderful, because you used to have to drive to a big town like Greenville if you wanted to go to a farmers market. Now you
Yeah.
don't have to do that anymore.
Well, I
love
always
it.
had to go to Atlanta, but I can go. There's so many choices, which
Around.
is that's good.
And there's a lot of farms that you can pick in and everything like this. Let me tell you, Abby, if you put this in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes or so, it'll be It'll be ready to eat, but you can eat it when it's still warm too. And like I said, you can eat it with the tortillas or you can eat it with cornbread. It's real good with cornbread. And another way you can do this recipe is make your cornbread, Abby, and after you put the salsa on or before the salsa, if you would put your crumbled up cornbread in, then put the salsa on top of that and everything else like we did. Do the ground beef. Somebody corrected me. One of my friends that's watching said, Mary, call it ground beef. A hamburger is a sandwich you eat. I got to remember that.
You know, I even got
She's right.
angel, you know, the angel little cake, the mini angel
food cake?
Food cakes.
Yes.
The little dome. You can put your cornbread in those, and then you can put like salsa and cilantro and on top of it, and there you've already got. You've got it.
That's wonderful.
I serve that with my chili.
Oh, I like that idea because I've got those little domes, the individual ones, right? Yes.
Or you can buy them at Williams-Sonoma where you have 6 of them and you don't have to do individual. But anyway, I have to have 6 at a time.
I think I bought mine at Ingles. They were hanging up on the thing and there was 2 at a time. So we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back to try everything. Okay, let's get this ready so we can eat, y'all. We're ready to try it now. Abby, while I eat, why don't you tell us about fly fishing? And then you can eat. How about that?
Well, I don't have my waders and boots home today, but I can tell you a lot about it. You have to have a strong arm. And we've been open, when we first opened, Mary Beth, I was scared of the sport. I would rather be in the kitchen cooking, greeting folks, and because I felt intimidated with the sport. But I knew with all the questions that I was getting with the phone calls, what is a caddis, what weight rod, all these things, I was calling John and I said, you know, I don't know these things. So I finally got on my waders and boots, and I am now an avid fly fisherman, and I love it. It's great for...
Can I interrupt you? We're about out of time. Let me ask you this. Can you tell them how to get in touch with you?
You can, we have a website, www.blackhawkflyfishing. All the information is on my salsa with the 4 different salsas. You can find my gourmet site, come savor the taste of Abby J's and catch that lifetime memory.
It'll be on my website. And we're connected, I believe. Isn't that right?
Right, we are.
So you can go right to it. And let me tell you something.
I think I'm gonna try this.
What section in the Ingles is it?
It's in the deli, past the deli, near the Stacy Pita Chips.
And if they don't have it, let us know and let me know your store, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks so much. Thanks for joining us again. This is fabulous, isn't it, Abby?
Wow.
It's great. Kids love it. The watermelon's great too.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. Bye.